Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Sir Adeel Fazlani, O-level mathematics teacher at the City School, Gulshan Campus C, Karachi, Pakistan. The topic that I have chosen for you guys is the graphing of linear inequalities, right? So I'm going to share the screen with you right now, and you'll find the topic and we'll discuss the goal that what are the goal of today's class. Let me share the screen, and if you just find the screen, just intimate me that the screen is visible. All right. Anyways, okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you see the screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
All right. Graphing of linear inequalities into variables. A goal is to revise all concepts which requires for graphing of linear inequalities. Yes, and yes, we will also approach to perform task using graphing of linear inequalities concepts. And yes, a prior knowledge is very much needed here. So I'm just trying my level best to start with the prior knowledge, since graphing of linear inequalities requires a coordinate geometry. You should know the basic concept of coordinate geometry. If your basics are clear of coordinate geometry, then you will be able to do graphing of linear inequalities, right? And I can also say that if someone is approaching coordinate geometry, is more or less is 70 to 80% is he or she is done with the topic of graphing of linear inequalities. Graphing of linear inequalities. Got it? Yes. Am I audible to you, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So today's objective is to, start with the prior knowledge, which is a coordinate geometry. And yes, and this topic is basically encapsulated into the topic of coordinate geometry. So next slide is prior knowledge required, which is coordinate geometry. So starting with the coordinate geometry, I would like to ask from you the question. Yes. Uh, Today is 9th of December. Can you see the screen properly? Whatever I'm writing on the
Yes, sir.
screen is visible to you? It's got it. Okay. So the coordinate geometry, right? Am I audible to you, class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. When it comes to the coordinate geometry, you should know the basic concepts behind of coordinate geometry. Yes. Since you already have done the coordinate geometry in previous years, so before me, I would like you to say something about the coordinate geometry. What do you know about coordinate geometry? Yes. Speak up something about. Yes. Anyone? Yes, please. Yes, anyone?
So finding the equation of line, gradient, and constant and all. Plotting the graph according to the equation.
Okay. Finding the equation of line. You are saying finding, I can write here finding the equation of line. Finding equation of line. Got it. One bullet is this. What else?
Plotting the equation, like plotting the coordinates.
Plotting, plotting, plotting coordinates.
Finding the gradient.
Got it. What else?
Finding the gradient.
Excuse me. All right. Okay. All right. Plotting coordinates. And then next is
Linear
we are
line and
saying finding gradient.
line.
We are saying you are saying actually you are saying that we need to find out the gradient. Yes, this is obvious thing that once you are saying that finding an equation of line, for finding an equation of line you require two things. Got it? And let me reveal the. All right, what is the equation of straight line?
Y is equals to mx plus c.
Y is equals to mx plus c. Correct. If it is y is equals to mx plus c, right? So you require two things from it. What are the two things that you require to form an equation?
Constant
Yes,
and gradient.
Gradient and y-intercept.
gradient and y-intercept. Excellent. So your gradient is represented by letter M. Gradient. Got it? Your gradient and your y-intercept. So Salit was talking about the gradient. So, all right, this is going to be y-intercept. Okay, what is gradient? Gradient is, all right, what is gradient? Come on.
Rise upon run. The slope.
Yes,
How the
all
slope is
right.
steeper. Steepness of the slope.
Gradient is actually, yes, actually, this is, we are talking about the slope, correct, which is going to be found through the rise upon run, we can say. All right. And that rise upon run is really helpful when it comes to the graph. And when you find the sketched graph, and the graph has already been given in the question, and you find ease to, while finding out the gradient using this formula rise upon run. What is another formula?
Dynamic.
One means,
Y2 minus
sorry,
y1 upon x2 minus x1. Y2
y2
minus
minus
y1 upon x2 minus x1.
perfect. One way is this that y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, 100% correct. So change in y upon change in x, it can be used, but yes, these most common formulas being used by the students dealing with the graphs. Got it? So, all right, back to y-intercept. What is the concept of y-intercept?
Where the line is cutting the y axis.
Line cutting to axis.
Line, yes, absolutely correct. A line which cuts y-axis, right? Line cuts y-axis is the reflection of y-intercept. Got it? Plotting the graph is quite familiar. You are familiar with the plotting the coordinates, and once the coordinates been given to you, you can find out. Yes, what else from the coordinate geometry you know already, right? This is what I'm just I want you to just recall the memory and whatever the concepts that you perceived already. try to recall and do let me know. And then if you left with anything from the coordinate geometry, I can definitely going to add upon. So plotting the coordinates is okay, fine. What else from the coordinate geometry? Yes, come on.
So
Sir,
finding
distance formula.
distance between 2 points.
Yeah,
Distance
distance between
formula.
2 points.
Yes, distance. Yes, when we'll find distance, see, when it comes to the distance, you need to understand the concept of the distance. Yes, this is quite easy for you when you have a horizontal axis that is said to be x-axis. You can find out the distance by maximum and by looking to the maximum point here. Maximum minus minimum is quite easy for you to find out maximum minus minimum. All right, if you are required to find out the distance between this point and this point, and let's say this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis, and you need to find out the distance between minimum and distance of the line that is exactly parallel to x-axis. So you use the formula maximum minus minimum. Got it? And yes, distance can be found with this way as well. Like if your x-axis and y-axis been drawn like this. Got it? And next is yes, if your line is exactly, this is your y-axis, and yes, this is your x-axis. Now if your line is parallel to y-axis, now again you go for the maximum. Your maximum, if you need to find out the exactly vertical distance of this line, it's quite easy for you, right? You need to track maximum point here, and you have to track another point that is a minimum point here. So you will find the distance between this point and this point, the vertical distance. And this is quite easy to find out the horizontal distance with the help of maximum minus minimum. Yes, point of learning here is very important for you, and you might be knowing this, that actually if your line is diagonal, what if your line is diagonal, what is the way to find out the distance? Yes, guys, shall we find like this, 1 2 3 4, like this? Is this a way to find out the distance?
No, sir.
No, this is the wrong approach. What, this is right approach, this is right approach, but this is
हम
your wrong
कोऑर्डिनेट्स
approach.
फाइंड करेंगे और उसको फिर डिस्टेंस में लिख देंगे.
Okay, let me cross this. This is perfect. This is perfect. Now, what is the way to find out the diagonal distance? Just hold on. Just wait. All right, class. Yes. Can you see the screen? All right. Okay. So what I was talking about, to find out the distance. How do you find the distance? Now see, if your line is this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis, and this is your diagonal line. Now your target is to find out the distance between this point and this point. Yes or no? Okay. You tell me what are the ways to find out the distance between the 2 points? What do you think?
So we can use a
सर
formula.
हम लोग कोऑर्डिनेट्स ढूंढेंगे फिर कोऑर्डिनेट्स को फॉर्मूले में पुट आउट कर देंगे
Okay. All right. Is there any other way?
मतलब सर उस पॉइंट पे कोई कोऑर्डिनेट्स तो दिए हुए होंगे ना जिससे हम लोग मतलब उसको डिस्टेंस में
Yes,
लिखेंगे
yes,
और फिर आ
yes.
जाएगा उसका आंसर
Listen, definitely.
हाँ
This is your A. Okay, this is your B. All right, this is your A. This is see. Let me teach you the common way to solve this. See, the students find ease when they log the triangle of the 2 points. Once they log with the triangle, you are used to use the formula Pythagoras theorem. Did you remember that? So instead
यस
of distance formula, they used to use Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem is quite easy for you. It's nothing but your h square is equals to your perpendicular square plus base square. All right. But okay, what if someone is going to use distance formula? Now, if someone is going to use distance formula, they will use approach like you have to reveal the coordinates first. Okay, definitely. And you have to reveal the coordinates for B, and then you have to plug in the formula, that is a distance formula. Okay, this the length AB, if you need to find out the distance of the length AB, you can use the formula. What is the formula? It's under radical x1, if you remember, x1 minus x2 whole square plus
y2 minus y1 square
y1 plus y2 whole square. All right. So this was a formula to find out the length of AB. Got it? But maximum students used to follow this. That is your Pythagoras theorem. Got it? What else you know about the coordinate geometry? Yes, come on.
midpoint
Midpoint. Excellent. So, midpoint. What is the formula to find out the midpoint?
x1 plus x2 upon 2 y1 plus y2 upon 2
Yes. So, your midpoint is nothing but you need to use this formula x1 plus x2 over 2 over y1 plus y2 over 2. Yes or no? Y2 over 2. Till here is clear? Midpoint is a thing that, like, for example, if I need to find out the midpoint of this length AB, so I use this formula, all right, to find out the midpoint. Okay, and there is nothing in it. You need to label that coordinates by x1, y1, x2, y2, and to find out the midpoint. Got it? Yet, now, what else you know about coordinate geometry? Come on. Yes, please. Just waiting for your responses, guys. Mm-hmm. All right. Come on.
सर और याद नहीं है.
Okay. All right. You tell me. The concept was if your gradient is falling from first quadrant to the third quadrant, your your gradient always found positive. Yes or no? If your gradient is falling from the second quadrant to the fourth quadrant, your gradient is what?
Negative. Negative.
Did you remember this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. Yes. And you should know the basic concept behind of this coordinate geometry. If the coordinates been given to you and you are asked to find out the equation, let's say if I'm going to give you the coordinates, all right? And if the two coordinates been given to you and if I'm asking from you to form an equation, like let's say if I'm going to give you the coordinates p 1 comma 2, all right, 1 comma 2, and q is 5 comma let's say minus 14, right? So if these two coordinates been given to you and I'm asking from you to find out the equation of PQ, find equation of PQ. Can anyone tell me what is the way to find out the equation? Yes, please.
So using y is equals to mx plus c.
Okay, you will use y is equal to mx plus c. Okay,
Yes,
if I'm going
first
to
we
write y is equals to mx plus c, then
so then we'll take out the gradient.
all right, then we'll find out the gradient first. Excellent approach, a superb approach. Yes, keep it up, Ramin. You'll find out the gradient first with the help of the coordinates. And yes, how do you find a gradient? Come on.
Y2 minus y1 upon x2 upon x1.
Excellent. That means you're talking about this.
Yes.
We'll use this.
सर आंसर
Yes.
2.66 आएगा कुछ.
And yes, once you just find the answer of gradient, then what happens? How do you find C then?
We will put one of the like y and x of q or p, it depends on us, and then we will take out c.
Okay, once you find the C, what is your next step then?
We will write it like we'll just mention m and c
In the equation form.
in the equation form.
We will write, yes, we will write value of M. Yes, we will write value of M and we will write the value of C. And then this particular equation is being formed finally. Yes or no?
Yes.
Got it? Okay. Anything which I'm missing upon the coordinate geometry?
No, sir.
Anything which I'm missing?
I don't think so,
All
sir.
right. Yeah, these are the maximum points which I have discussed. Maybe one or two more points which I'm missing, maybe. But anyways, you should know the basic concept behind of graphing of linear inequalities. Got it? So before going to proceed further, I want everyone to just take the picture of this and share it. Just hold on. Let me. Sign it here, right? All right. Now, once I say the click the picture, then you just click the picture. Got it? All right. So, class, I would request one or two students to just take the screenshot, those who are using laptops and those who are using Androids. All right. Okay. Now take the picture quickly. Taking the picture. Have you taken the
Yes,
picture?
sir.
Yes or no? All right. Share it in the group, WhatsApp group as well, and over the Teams, right? So, what is the ending time of today's class?
2:20.
What is the ending 2:20 is the ending time, so we are just running short of time. Right now, coordinate geometry I have discussed. We'll continue with the coordinate geometry. If I missed out one of the point, if not, then
सर
we'll
मगर
continue
आपने
with the
इसका रिवीजन
graphing.
करा तो दिया था.
This was done. This was done actually in the on-site, if you remember. Perfect. But the lecture
Yes
was
sir,
not
वही.
recorded. This time, yes, this time is recording the lecture and making you more strong in this area. And even though you missed out few points, and this is good thing that you have grip in the particular topic, and so that with the help of this topic, we will be able to drive the next topic, that is graphing of linear inequalities. Got it? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
sir.
All right. So thank you very much. We'll be continuing tomorrow, inshallah, and see you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz, all of you.
अल्लाह
Allah
हाफिज.
Hafiz.